Hi friends, thank you for joining us at coolvegancafe.com. My name is Irene and today we're making one of my absolute favorite meals. This is the meal that when your mom asks you what you want for your birthday, this was the answer every single year. It's called Ghormesabze. We veganized it, we made it much healthier, and I hope you love it as much as I do. We're going to start out with two green onions, 2 bunches of green onions, 1 bunch of cilantro, and 2 bunches of parsley. I have Italian parsley here. Pick out the freshest parsley that you can find, and if you have access to organic produce, always select organic if you're able to. Then we have 4 dried Persian lemons sitting in hot water to soften them up, 1 medium to large onion, turmeric, and 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt, and then 1 cup of kidney beans. You can make them the night before, soak them the night before and make them during the day in your crock pot. This is what I do, and then when I get home from work, I have ready made beans. You can also use canned beans when you're in a bind. And we have 1/4 cup of ghore. These are unripe grapes. And you can find them in the freezer section of an international store or a Persian market. And they add a ton of flavor, but they are optional. And we have 2 pinches of black pepper. So first, what we're going to do is wash our produce, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to move this away. You're gonna, for Ghormesabze, you have to take off some of the hard stems of the parsley, and since cilantro is a little bit more soft, you don't have to take out as much. But what I like to do is chop them off right at the beginning before I even wash them, and then I'll put them away and use them for juicing. They're excellent for juicing. So we're gonna just cut these up. So we're going to fill it with water, cold water. I normally use a bigger bowl, but just so you can see it well, we're going to use this one. A lot of times there's dirt stuck in these. So the fastest way that I've found, and it's the same way that my mom does it, is putting it in a big bowl of water. Again, if you have a slightly bigger bowl than this, that would be the way to go. Moving around the parsley and the cilantro like this with my hand, and then I'm going to put it in a strainer. Then we're going to go ahead and empty the water again. Do this again until your water is clean and you feel confident. So we're going to chop off the ends right off the bat. And I like to do it when it's still closed up like this. So the thing with green onions, I found, sometimes bugs get stuck in these open areas. So it's good to go ahead and pour water in. And then you want to really wash well the outside areas. Again, pour water. We're going to chop these up into like 4 times into these little finger pieces. And then our onion, I'm going to chop up into 4 pieces. And Then we're going to take our parsley and cilantro. Let me see if I can move some of these over here. Get us some room. And we're gonna kind of shake our parsley and cilantro and bring it over here. In our working area. Parsley is a little bit harder. So we're gonna, and so are these guys, but green onions are a little bit tricky. So you're gonna just put in, if you can, the parsley around the outer area. And then I'm gonna put one little onion. And then some of the green onions. So I'm not gonna load it up. And then we're gonna go ahead and just pulse. You don't turn it on, you just pulse. Let's take a peek, because you don't want to liquidify it. You don't want to have it be super soft, or so we're going to pulse again. And pretty much that's what you want it to look like. Now we're going to take this and we're going to put our bowl over here, and we'll go ahead and empty this into our bowl. You got to use your fingers on this one. And then we'll put it back in. And here we go again. So before we go to the pot, I forgot about the dried lemons. So to take your dried Parmesan lemons, and now they've been sitting in hot water for a while. You want to be super careful with these, that you don't want to have them be hard while you try to cut them. I've cut my hand before like that. So we're going to cut them in half. The normal way, I should say not normal way, but the traditional way that's done is you just prick it with a fork at this time and pop it in. But my mom has shared with me that they're not always dried properly. And so it's always a good idea to just go ahead and slice them open. It also allows the flavor to come out a little bit more. And then she finds that the seeds create some bitterness. So I just take some of the seeds out. You don't have to be perfect about it. Let me see here. So you do want the dark spots. You don't want these seeds. And we're going to put in our beautiful vegetables in a non-stick pot. I really like the thicker non-stick, the highest quality that you can afford. This one is all clad, but you'll notice some are thicker than others. And I really like this one. And then you want to turn it on high. And at this point, I'm going to add the turmeric. I'm going to and then we're going to add just a little bit of water. I would say I'm going to just pour it in, but probably 2 tablespoons worth of water. And on high, you're going to try to fry the vegetables with water, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I know it sounds like, wait a minute, if you are used to the oil, this is not going to taste good, but I guarantee you that you're going to be surprised at how wonderful it tastes and how many things that you can do with frying with water. I really didn't believe it when I first heard it, but now I rarely use oil. Okay, so it's pretty much done. This is what it would look like. I'm going to flatten it out so you can kind of see. There's very little water left. And it looks like it's frying in oil, if you look at what it looks like right now. And we kept it on this high heat. So that's what it looks like. Now what we're going to do is, since we're going to cook this for 30 to 40 minutes until everything is kind of comes together and the flavors come together, I like now moving it to a stainless steel pot. You do not have to do that if you don't want. I do the stir frying in the non-stick pots, but then I like the cooking in the stainless steel. That's just my preference. Get every bit of that goodness out. Still on high, because you're going to try to bring it to a boil. So before it could stick, we're going to go ahead and add 1.5 cup water. You might need more water a little bit later. Our dried Persian lemons, I'm going to pop those in. Our 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt. You can use any type of salt you want that you have access to. We have the 1 cup pre-cooked kidney beans. You can make them in your slow cooker, or you can get the canned variety and then rinse it out. And then we're going to add the ghore, the 1/4 of a cup unripe grapes. We call them ghore. And 2 pinches of black pepper, freshly ground black pepper if you have access to it. And we're just going to bring this to a boil. So I'm going to put this now on, it's a low enough heat where it still simmers, so I think it'll be number 3 on this one. And now we're going to put our timer for 30 minutes, and we're going to check in. Depending on your burner, you can go to 40 minutes or less. So let's get our bowl, put in our 1 cup of long grain basmati rice. There are a lot of different, see how cloudy that looks? So this is the reason why you have to go ahead and wash your rice. No matter what kind of rice you have, go ahead and put in water, swirl it around. We are good to go. So we're going to put our 1 cup of long grain basmati rice. Then we're going to put 2 cups of water and 1/2 teaspoon of the Himalayan pink salt or any type of salt that you have access to. And we're going to stir this just a little bit, and put it on high. So we're going to put this, we're going to wait till this boils on high, and then we're going to close the lid and put it on low, or medium low to low, and we're going to have some beautiful rice in 10-12 minutes. Okay, it's been about 40 minutes. I had to add a few, I had to add about 1 cup of water, half a cup at a time. So every time you add water, you just want to add a couple pinches of salt. And I like to add it a half a cup at a time because, in honesty, depending on the vegetables and everything, it just is different each time. You don't want a soup consistency. This is actually perfect right now, as you can see. But you don't, if you have a soup consistency, it's a little bit too much water that you've added. So we're going to turn everything off. Our rice is also ready. So we're going to fluff up the rice with a fork. And we've even made, usually you require the oil to have that Tadiq, which is the crispy rice. But I think we have a little bit crispy rice with no oil. Again, that's why I really like, here's the crispy rice. We could have gone probably and left it a little bit longer. That's why I really like the thicker non-sticks. There's our timer. We're going to put this beautiful Ghormesabze right on top. You don't really, you can squeeze out the dried limes. You don't really eat the dried limes, at least I don't. I'm serving it with some onions and turnip, a lot of Persian foods you can serve with raw onions. So are turnips. I love turnips with this. So if you're not used to the look, don't worry about it. I want you to just close your eyes and have a taste. Here we go. Super hot. It just reminds me of my amazing mom's Ghormesabze, and it's usually made with lamb and oil. We have none of that here. It's a vegan version. We probably could have cooked the vegetables about 10 more minutes. And for the sake of time, I went ahead and served it. I don't like to overcook vegetables. I mean, we are used to the taste, but if you'd like it to be more like Ghormesabze, the traditional way, you can cook it a little bit more. I feel like the less you cook these beautiful vegetables, the better. Have a little of the turnip with your So good. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy Ghormesabze. If you have any questions, please send them to info@coolvegancafe.com. And we really would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel. And I look forward to seeing you next time.